Okay. Um, we're gonna do a bit of a tutorial on labbing, as promised, um, at long last. So the point of this is, a lot of people go in the lab, spend hours in the lab, um, and don't find that they're improving that much. And that's probably because of how they're spending their time in the lab. Now, you don't have to even lab. Some people just get better banging out matches and whatnot. But if you want to use the lab, then what you need to learn is how to use it effectively. That's really important. You don't just go in there and do the same combo or just play around. Or it's not really. You could do that for fun, but if you're trying to get better, there's more effective ways. And so I'm going to show one way that I use the lab, and I'll use Cameo because this is real because I'm actually doing this at the moment, or well, I'm planning to. Um, so one way that I use the lab, and we'll show you now with Cami, is by doing drills. So drills is not just, there is an element of, okay, if you want to optimize a combo, right, do that combo 1,000 times, sure, that's useful. We've all done that. That's not bad. But this is more of a situation. This is more of a deeper, kind of bit more advanced lab situation, right? And so what you want to do is think about a common situation that you get yourself in. First and foremost, what's a common situation that you find yourself in when you're playing this character? Now, me, even as a noob Cammy, like day 2 or whatever it is, barely played her. One thing I'm getting is a lot of throws. Like, I'm landing throws, probably because I'm, don't know anything else, but I'm getting like 2 or 3 per game. So this situation of mine, I'm in quite a lot. And so what you want to drill, or what I'll drill here, is what do I do once a throw is landed? What do I go into? What should I go into? What shouldn't I go into? Etc. The frame meter is really important here. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, that's how games work, right? You need to understand the frames. Not every single frame for every single attack, but you'll see why. So for example, I do a throw here. If you look at the advantage, which is just where Cami's standing, 17F, I've got 17 frames of advantage here. That's not a lot. If I do her forward dash, that's 18 frames. So that means after a throw, if I dash immediately after, I'm -1. So it's not even my turn. So I can't do that. After a throw, I can't dash forward. So already I know not to do that, right? We've already made progress. After a throw, I just need to remember, do not dash forward, because you're minus. You'll get smoked if you do. What can I do though? So this game, and I've said this so many times before, drive rush is the answer to a lot, right? Raw drive rush, or drive rush after an animation, whatever it is. This thing, green shit as they call it, it's everything, man. People are asking for this to be nerfed. People are saying this ruins the game. Whether you like it or not, drive rush is the key. So here, to keep my pressure going, Cammy's a pressure character. She's meant to be used in a rush down sort of way. So after a throw, what I don't want to do is move back. I don't want to move back, right? There's no need for me to do that. She's a rush down character, she's not a zoner, so I'm not going to move back. I want to get in there. I've already found that if I dash forward, I can't. I'm -1 if I dash forward. So dashing is not an option. So my option's got to be drive rush. Get in with drive rush and do an attack. So you need to figure out which attack you can do in order to have an advantage. Like which button works, timing wise, what works. So I've already set this dude to essentially hit me once after he blocks. But we can ignore that. But essentially it's about figuring out, after my drive rush, which move do I do first, otherwise known as a meaty. So you want to get them when they're getting up, right? You want to hit them with an active move when they're getting up, so that basically they can't jump, they can't throw. So I've already kind of done the calculations on this, and I've figured out that for Cammy, it's the standing hard punch. The standing hard punch is the best thing to do when I drive rush in with someone, and I can demonstrate that now. So here's the important bit. In your settings, I mean, I use almost every menu here, every sub menu here, but one of the most important ones for me is the reversal one. This one's super good, man, because essentially you can choose without recording what your opponent will do as a reversal. And there's 3 types of reversals here. It's on wake up, after a block, and after damage. The ones we're going to do now, because we're talking about wake up, right? So we're going to do the wake up one. You know, after I get a throw, what do I want Ken to do when he wakes up? And this is where I test certain things. So what's a common thing that they could do? Neutral jump, right? So find neutral jump, vertical jump, here it is. That's one, turn that on. So now, every time I drive rush in, he's going to jump forward or jump up. Another one could be a throw. People might throw. Another thing is crouching light punch. That's Ken's fastest move. This is a good way to test whether your move is meaty or not, by the way. But a lot of people are going to mash jab, right? So let's turn that on as well. So now he's going to be doing, and this is going to be random, but he's going to be doing one of 3 things. He's either going to jump up, he's either going to throw and wake up, he's either going to do a light punch. Now, if I drive rush in and do a move that doesn't work with the sort of the right frame data, that punch will hit me. And so, using the frame data, we figured out that actually this is the best thing to do. If he blocks it, oh, that's the other thing we should add. He might do nothing, and he might block. So let's do nothing, and let's set it to block everything. Yeah. So now one of the options is block. So now I drive rush in, I do that. There he must have been, I would say he is jumping up, because no counter came up on my screen. But if I do, just to show you by the way, if I do nothing, he's either going to jump, block, jab, throw, there's the throw, and it's set to random. So it's going to do one of 2 things. And by the way, he's doing it as soon as possible. So it's automated. As soon as he's out of recovery, he's going to do that move. So if I go and try and just stand in front of him, I'll get thrown. If I want to learn how to tech throws, I can turn all of them off apart from throw. Just make sure he wakes up with throw, and then I can practice doing this. There you go, I did it too early there. I can practice drive rushing in and getting a throw. There you go, tech. Drive rush in, get a throw. There you go. So you can lab those things. But what the drill is taking it a step further. And it's learning how to, once I figured out the fact that I know when I knock him down, the best thing for me to do is drive rush, standing hard punch. Question is, okay, then what? You figured out you do that, but then what? And the then what really depends on what Ken has done. So, if he doesn't block it, if he just goes for a jump, let's say, and he's not blocking, then let's see what happens. Okay, I'm 6 frames advantage. He hasn't gone anywhere, he's right in front of me. I've got 6 frames to play with. I know that I can probably link standing, because that's 4 frames. So after that, I can do a standing jab. So let's do that again. There you go. So that combos. So I know now if he jumps and I hit him, then I'm 6 frames advantage, and I can hit a jab after that, which means I can do that. That's one situation only. That's if he jumps. What if he jabs? If he jabs, where is it? Let's turn on jab this time. If he jabs, what happens after I knock him down? Let's see. So it's going to be different. Let me do the forward throw again. I'm going to drive rush in hard punch. That's interesting, right? Counter hit. And now I'm 8 frames. I have 8 frames of advantage now. So obviously, I could just do the same thing. I could do hard punch, and then jab, and then special. I could do that. But if I'm 8 frames of advantage, if I'm counter hit, why not take advantage of that? So what I can do with 8 frames, instead of that and jab, I can do that and that again, because this is an 8-frame move. So that means I can hit, instead of doing a standing hard punch and a jab, I can do a standing hard punch twice. Obviously that's going to be a lot more damage. So we can do this. This is the old option. 1836 damage. Or, since I know it's counter hit, I can do 2400 damage. So, again, it's a bit advanced, but taking advantage of the fact that it's counter hit is going to be important. So now we've got 2 scenarios for Ken. He either jumps forward or he does crouching light punch. If he jumps forward, I'm only 6 frames, so I can only do a jab and then a combo. But if he does a light punch, so if he's mashing something, then I'm 8 frames and I can do another hard punch. And the indicator for that, obviously the frame meter is not going to be there, is the counter symbol on the top left of my screen. And so now we've got both of them on. They're going to be random, right? So now I actually have to react. Now I'm going to go in with hard punch. If I don't see a counter, which I didn't, I'm going to do a jab and then finish it like that. If I do see a counter, I'm going to do that again and get the more punishing combo, the higher damage combo. So my eyes need to be where the counter is, right? So let's do it a couple of times. So I missed it there. Didn't counter, so I did the jab. If I see counter, I want to hit. There you go. I saw the counter hit come up, so I did the hard punch again. So basically what it's about is you figured out how to keep your pressure going. But then once you got that move that you figured is the best, this, for me, I'm like, yes, this is the one I need to use. But then what? Because there's certain scenarios, right? So we've set up 2 scenarios so far, and they're set to random. I can just do this drill. If I see counter hit, then I need to do, definitely not that. If I see counter hit, I need to do another hard punch. If I don't see a counter hit, I need to do a jab. I failed there. So that's the drill. But that's 2 scenarios. There are more. This is where it gets complicated, but this is where it becomes a bit more real, because there's other things people can do. Like I said, they can throw. We can keep that on. They could obviously, so this jump, they could block, right? Do nothing. That's the other option. So do nothing, because I've set my dummy to block everything, he's going to block everything if he does the do nothing command, if that makes sense. So now if he blocks, in fact, let's turn them all off apart from block. I need to figure out another situation. Okay, what do I do when this guy blocks? If I do that, I'm not going to finish the combo, because then I'm going to be super open, right? So if I just stuck to the same scenario and no matter what, I'm going to do that and jab and then I'm going to do that. If I stuck to that and he blocks, I'm dying. And that's the thing, this is where you have to react to the situation, not just do the same thing again and again. If I just learned this combo, oh, I'm going to do that and then do that. Well, guess what? He's blocked. I'm minus 36. He's going to smoke me now. So I've left it wide open. So I need to be able to react. And so I need to figure out what to do after a block. He blocks. I'm plus 1 frame of advantage. So that's good. That's part of the reason I picked this move, because it's safe on block. So I need to figure out what to do. I would probably, in that scenario, move back, because that person's probably going to do a throw. Or they could even be mashing a jab. I'll just move back. I'll block or I'll shoot me the throw. So that's the 3rd scenario now. We've got the jump, we've got the punch, and we've got the do nothing. So now, by the way, what I like to do is save status here. I'll show you why. So let's just go here. I'm going to save just here. I'm going to set my restart button to the touchpad. So now I can just, okay, that's a block, so I need to, he blocked it, so I need to move back. Then I can just reset. So I can keep doing it. And each 3 of my random scenarios is going to be on. So one time it's going to jab, sometimes it's going to jump, sometimes it's going to block. And the whole point is, this is your drill. You're going to do this over and over again. But with every scenario, you're going to train yourself to react appropriately. So by doing this, you start getting used to the fact that, oh, if it's a counter, I'm going to finish the combo like that. Only if I see counter hit. If I don't see counter hit, I'm definitely not going to do that because I'll be wide open. And because you've saved status, you can just reset from here over and over and again. It makes it a lot quicker. I'm not completing the drill, but basically that's the idea. To set these situations up, save it in an optimal place where you can just do like 100 of these really quickly, but you're training yourself to react to the scenario, right? So you're not just doing a combo for the sake of it. You're making sure you're doing the right thing at the right time. That's going to be huge. Now, obviously, that's 3 scenarios. There's actually one big one that I would recommend everyone do on their reversal settings, because I've found this just gets easier the more you see it, the more you react to it. And that's good old drive impact. So drive impact, people can wake up with DI. They always do. One of the reasons I've picked crouching hard, as you can see Cammy goes red, it's cancelable. So if he dares wake up with DI, then I can cancel that and do my own DI. No problem. So now he's got DI set. I'll demonstrate it just with DI to make sure he does it. Oh, for some reason it didn't come out there. Oh, I'm being too slow on the drive rush. There you go. So that's another scenario for me to practice. What happens if they wake up DI? So there's 4 scenarios there. Jump, throw, light punch, drive impact, and even block. 5 there, right? It's good that there's 5 slots. So if you set up all 5 on random, you've got yourself a hell of a drill to practice. Reacting to each of the different 5 scenarios. Meaning, what do I do if he just jumps? If he just jumps, then it's the jab combo, right? How do I know he's jumped? Because I won't get counter hit. Counter hit won't come up, that means he wasn't doing a move. That means he was just jumping, or he wasn't even blocking. So that's fine. If I don't see counter, I do jab. Second scenario, throw. That's kind of the same thing, we'll skip that. Second scenario, crouching light punch. Okay, what if he does crouching light punch? If he does crouching light punch, I'll get counter hit. If I get counter hit, instead of doing the jab and special, I'm going to do another standing hard. That's the combo that I'm going to do. Obviously, you mix them up. If you've got the jump on and the one, now you have to react to 2. And this is pretty difficult to do. You know, it's pure reaction. You can't prep for it. It's whether counter hit comes up or not. If it comes up, what do I do? If it doesn't come up, what do I do? And of course, I've added the fun little drive impact to the mix as well. Because that's one that, if that comes out, I need to hit DI. You know, there's nothing else I can do. I just need to hit the DI button. You can just keep resetting that, and that's what I would do, and that's what I do. I've done it with Ken, I did it with Ryu. Don't know if I did it with anyone else, because I didn't just go into the lab as much, but, you know, these scenarios are what you want. You know, people will sometimes comment on the fact that, oh, he reacted to the DI, you know, like so late, 2 hits in. It's because I've trained to be able to react. I'm using hits that are cancelable, so I'm not doing a non-cancelable move. I've labbed that. I've done it on purpose. I know which hit I'm doing, which one's cancelable. So if you do DI, I can hit it. But the other thing is, it's just drills. It's just doing stuff like this. So that's it, really. There's obviously going to be questions. I know there will be, but that's fine. there is, I can help. But set these 5 scenarios up. It's just one element, right? But remember what we said in the beginning. This is a common situation. The thing is, you're identifying a common situation that you're in. Then you can go on the uncommon ones. But for me, forward throw, that's a big one. Now I can just autopilot into what I need to do after that, you know, and then do the appropriate thing after that. So this is the kind of thing, and obviously setting the record state means you can just do it very quickly. You don't even have to finish the combo, right? You know you've hit it, whether you, and you're sort of counting how many times you do the right thing, right? Okay. That was right. That was wrong. Because it was counter hit, so I should have done the hard punch. That was right. That was wrong. That was wrong. Didn't react to the DI. And so you just do that over and over, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's, yeah, one element of labbing effectively. You do that for an hour, and then all of a sudden you're not thinking about what to do when someone lands. You're automatically going into it. And you'll see the pros, they do these things. You know, it just comes naturally. And they often will do the same thing in certain scenarios because they've labbed it to the point where, to be honest, bro, whatever you do, I have an answer for. Now, the only thing I don't have an answer for in this scenario is this. That's the only thing I don't have an answer for. Because now, obviously, there is an answer, which is block, right? I can block. But the question is, do I want to block every time I hit a throw in case someone DPs? Even though there's like 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 other scenarios where I win the exchange. The answer for me is no, I'm not going to block. So OD Shoryuken, EX, you know, reversals and shit, that's the risk that I'm going to take. I don't mind. If someone wants to hit me with one of those, fine, you hit me, you did a bit of damage, you wasted 2 bars. So it's not amazing for you. Yeah, you got your turn back. But the pros outweigh the cons, because if he doesn't do the DP and he does any of these things, the advantage is mine. It stays my turn. I can get a nasty combo. You know, whatever the scenario is, 9 out of 10 times I'm winning that. And if someone wants to do EXDP, yeah, they win. But I let people do that. That's fine. You know, you do a reversal move. You don't have any Oki pressure on me. You send me to the other side. Yeah, you've done some good damage. You've wasted 2 bars. I'll take that, man. I'll take that for the sake of like 10 scenarios that I can win. And that's the whole point. So I'll leave it there. Hopefully that's made sense. And yeah, if there's questions and stuff, hit me up. But hopefully that does help. And I know I've said for ages I'm going to do this. And there's more. Like I said, this is one thing. This is one drill. There's so many different things that I do in the lab. I do think it's helpful, even though I'm not that good. I think that's the way to go about it. If you want to spend time in the lab, you want to be doing it effectively. And there's only so much like doing the same thing again and again will get you. If you've got execution problems, then yeah, you need to do that. If you can't pull out a Shoryuken when you want to, then yes, you need to go and do it 1,000 times in the lab. But if the execution isn't your problem, you need to step up the labbing and do certain things differently. And that's the whole point. So yeah, I've got loads more. If it's useful, I can do it. Obviously, Aminor, when we tried to do this online, you know, it didn't really work because online training is not really good enough. You need to set your dummy up and stuff. So this was really the best way to show it. But anyway, leave it there. Maybe I'll demonstrate the drill for like a couple minutes because I've set it up now. I think I'll turn this shit off because I definitely don't want to do that. there you go. So mentally, I was kind of taking note of how many times I was flopping, how many times I was doing it right. And yeah, you just do that for a while. I probably would put some music on, and do that for like half an hour, and then maybe switch sides and do that for half an hour, and then sort of take note. You'll automatically see that you are, if as long as you're thinking about it, as long as you know what you're meant to be doing, you'll see that it's getting easier and easier. And sometimes I felt like, damn, if I'm doing all this, is it going to work in a match? Next thing I know, I'm doing it in the match without even thinking. And that's what you want to get to, right? You don't want to be thinking about it. You just want to be doing it. You just want to react to certain scenarios. And I've 100% found that even without trying, I just do things that I've labbed in this way. So yeah, that's the answer. Cool. Hope that was useful.